This was where it started. Suddenly and began the case of the cotton kimono.
Just a moment, darling. Just a moment. Somebody's in an awful hurry. I'm sorry I wasn't dressed for you yet, sweetheart. I was just... Oh.
Good evening, Margot. Lamont. Sorry to walk in on you like this.
We were on our way to the theater.
We are on our way to the theater. Aren't we?
Guess I owe the department something for that retainer they send me every month. Afraid you'll have to throw yourself on the... Margot?
I know the Commissioner's mercy. I haven't seen a play in 6 months.
I'm sorry. Homicide needs the help of a criminal psychologist.
Well, what's it all about?
The cotton kimono killing. And a detective named Springfield. The girl was killed on the 4th. Up to date, we've gotten practically nowhere.
Where does Detective Harris from Springfield come in?
Well, Springfield was Sissy Chadwick's hometown.
Harris was assigned to the case?
Well, the girl had only been in New York for a few months. So we contacted Springfield. We got a lot of pretty useless data. Then, 4 days ago, Detective Harry Harris of the Springfield Police entered the case. He's been at it like a Trojan ever since. I think he needs the kind of help you can give.
What's his trouble?
I brought him along.
Show him in, Margot.
I really think he could tell you better himself.
Drop in any time, Commissioner. And bring your friends.
Thank you, Lamont.
I'd like to see him alone, Commissioner.
Oh, certainly, of course.
Come right in, Mr. Harris. Sit down, won't you?
Thanks.
Well, how do you like our large and noisy city?
Don't get to see much of it. I'm at work by 7 in the morning. I'm at home by 10 p.m. You see, I knew Sissy since she was a kid. I knew her people, Mr. Cranston.
What have you found out so far?
Not too much. They didn't locate the murder gun until today. Found it in the grating behind the Madison apartments where Sissy lived.
It's been traced?
Yeah. Stolen from Louis Mendes, pawn shop on 6th Avenue.
What about the girl? Did she have any underworld tie-ins?
I don't think so.
Any enemies?
None that I heard of.
Any boyfriends?
Yeah. Alex Braun. Oregon 75883. He's a shipping clerk.
Of course you went to see him.
With a couple of boys in uniform. I don't want to sound like a wise guy, but they let him get away with murder.
You went only once?
No. I went a second time. He didn't like the questions I was asking.
Miss Lane, may I present Mr. Braun?
Good evening, Mr. Brom. You're not married, are you, Mr. Brom? You know, you don't have to answer. Of course you're not. I've never seen a more totally male apartment.
Are you two in the right place?
Oh, undoubtedly. You know, this could be a charming room.
Mr. Brom doesn't believe in the decorative, Margot. Except, unless I'm mistaken, for this. A little out of key, wouldn't you say, Alice?
Hey, put that down. Put that down and get out of here.
My name's Cranston, Lamont Cranston. You may think of me as an emissary of Mr. Harris, the little man who dropped around here a couple of times.
A couple of times? Where'd you get a couple of times? That hind has been on my back morning, noon, and night. I get up and go to sleep with him looking down at me.
He's been here more than twice?
I lost count of the times. So you tell him, will you? Will you tell him you might as well lay off me because you'll get nothing more out of me?
I don't understand that, Brom. You keep the dead girl's picture so she can't be too bad a memory, and yet you refuse to help us.
I can't help you any more than I have. I told Harris everything I know, but he keeps on after me. If I could help you catch a guy that killed Sissy, why should I hold out after what he did to her?
Lamont. I'll be in the car.
Pretty broken up, aren't you? Were you in love with her? It won't help to lie, Brom. They've traced the murder gun to a pawn shop in 6th Avenue. The proprietor, Louis Mendes, won't have much trouble identifying the man who stole it.
By the time I got there that night, she was dead. She was a nice kid. She worked in an office 5 days a week. Wasn't interested in running around. Wasn't interested in anything, I guess, much except me and the job and her singing lesson. Her singing lesson?
She took singing lessons?
This guy she took from. Yeah, he used to call her after hours, bothering her when he had no business. And one night I got sore.
What did she say?
Well, she understood. She admitted he was nuts about her. She said she was going to tell him once and for all to cut it out the very next day.
When was this?
Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, it was the day before she... It was the 3rd of February.
Who is he?
Oh, I'm not accusing anybody.
Who is he?
Grimbauer, Rollo Grimbauer. He's over on 58th Street in the Dunwoody studio.
Now, Miss Bettinger, let's go on up. Very nice, by the way. Very nice. Continue. Not a great voice, Mrs. Bettinger's, but she has the will to sing. That's all I require of my pupils, the will to sing.
Very democratic of you. Of course, it doesn't hurt anything if they also have blonde hair, blue eyes, and hail from the Midwest with figures that remain glamorous even in a cotton kimono.
Do you have a warrant, sir, that permits you to come here and question me?
No.
Then how dare you, sir? My time is worth $20 an hour, and for the untalented is unavailable at any price. You're disturbing this lady. Go on, Mrs. Bettinger. Good day, sir.
Have it your own way, Professor. But it won't take long to get a warrant, or even a subpoena.
I'm afraid I'll have to put you to that trouble.
Don't apologize. It'll be a pleasure. Well, you've had worse ideas.
Then what?
Deciding to wait here over a soothing cup of coffee. We're going to need help on this, milady. Help from an old friend.
The shadow?
Is he there? You're quite sure? Very well. I want you to take this message. Tell him
that message? Oh, yes, message. I think I'd best call back later. I don't know. What's that? What's wrong with you? I heard a laugh.
Have no fear for your sanity, Grimbar. You're too shallow and evil for that escape.
Who's there?
I am the Shadow.
A shadow?
Only the guilty need fear me, and I see the terror in your eyes, my friend. I'm all around you, here at your side, though your eyes see nothing. You cannot escape me, Grimbar.
What do you want of me?
Justice for the death of Sissy Chadwick.
No, I didn't kill her. I swear it. I swear.
You cannot lie to me. The Shadow knows.
No, I'm not lying. I was in love with her, but I didn't kill her.
Then who did? Who did?
This much I know, this much I'll tell you. The night before she was killed, I went to call on her. She didn't expect me. I walked in without knocking.
Go on.
And do you know who was there with her in her room?
Who?
It was the man. How did you get in here?
I had a key made.
All right, this time we play no questions and answers.
I didn't come for questions and answers. I'm going to take you down.
What?
I'm going to take you down and prove a murder rap.
What?
You're going, even if it's for my murder. You're going. You had an argument with her. Was that it? She kissed you off, maybe. You got there early and killed her because you were sore. Was that the way it was? I don't know. Maybe you didn't kill her. I don't know anymore.
Look, Harris. You're dead on your feet. You've been going on like this for hours.
It was my angle. My suspect. Look, will you do me a favor? Leave me alone with him.
Look, pal, why don't you let me...
I brought him in, remember?
Yeah, but you know what you're doing.
Something I gotta do. I gotta.
Come on, Casman. If you don't, we will.
Now comes the tough part. Getting you in here was a walk away. Getting you out isn't going to be so easy.
What are you talking about?
I've thought this thing through now. Put two and two together. You didn't kill her, Alex.
Yeah, then get me out of here.
That's what I said isn't going to be so easy. Maybe. Maybe. That's the angle.
What do you mean?
Reasonable doubt. That's it. Reasonable doubt. Now look. There was a murder committed here in the city today. One they're sure that was done by the same guy that killed Sissy Chadwick. Now listen. I'm going to call him back in here. And I'm going to ask you where you were at 4 p.m. today. That's the time of the murder. Are you listening? What's the matter? I got to sell you on the idea of getting you out of here alive? Now look, I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to say you were out in the island at Rego Park. You were out of the city, get it? You were no place near where the murder happened. Repeat it. Repeat it!
Oh, I was out on the island in Rego Park.
Good. You'll be back in your own bed before midnight. Okay, fellas, you can come inside. He feels different now. Gonna answer a few more questions. It's a rule with me, always to nail a killer when I see one. Okay, here we go again. Where were you at 4 p.m. today?
I was out on the island in Rego Park.
That do it?
Okay. Take him, Cashman.
What's this?
You told us, chum. You took care of the Chadwick dame, and then you took care of Mendes.
Mendes,
The pawnbroker you stole the murder gun from.
And when we found the gun today and we traced it, you knew you had to kill him fast to keep him from identifying it.
I didn't have anything to
Killed
do
him
with it.
at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
In his house, in Rego Park.
I don't know that I should do this. It's probably not too wise of me, Mr. Harris not being at home, but, oh, you two do have such honest faces. I don't think he could mind. Oh, and you mustn't mind if I sneak in here in a few minutes to make the bed. You may think it's a little peculiar, my making the bed so late at night, but, you know, when I have a roomer who's away all day and I can count on his absence, I take advantage of it to do all the little things I miss. So, going to the circulating library, you know, devoting a little time to myself. You won't mind, will you?
Of course not. Charming, isn't she?
Hmm?
What's that?
A round-trip ticket from Springfield. How long did the commissioner say the little man had been in town?
4 days. Why?
Very peculiar when you come to think of it.
What is?
That Sissy Chadwick should be wearing a cotton kimono to have dinner with her #1 guy. Would she, taking it for granted that she was an average young woman?
Of course she wouldn't. Why didn't I think of that? Unless, of course, everything she owned was at the cleaners, or she didn't have anything else to wear.
Look, do me a favor, will you?
Mm-hmm.
Hop over to her apartment. Take a look at what she had in her closet.
Oh, I do hope I'm not being a bother.
All right, Lamont.
You'll be back, won't you?
I'll meet you back at the house.
Darling little thing. Pretty as a picture. I suppose you'll find it hard to believe, but I looked very much like that when I was her age. Matter of fact, people used to call me Dolly, though that isn't my name at all. My name's Henrietta.
How long has Mr. Harris been staying with you, Miss Henrietta? 4 or 5 days?
Why, no, indeed. No, he came here on a Monday, as I remembered. That's been 2 weeks ago. Not that I don't enjoy your company, but will you be staying much longer?
I'm going to have to stay, Miss Henrietta. You've been housing a murderer.
Miss Lane, isn't it?
Oh, Mr. Harris, my heart. What are you doing here?
Thinking. And you?
I'd like to take a peek in his closet. May I?
No law against it.
Thanks a lot. It's an idea of Mr. Cranston's. Why, she had lots of things. Plenty of things.
How's that?
Mr. Harris, you can leave Brahm out of your thinking.
What do you mean, leave him out of my thinking? He's booked for murder.
Then they've got to let him go.
Why?
Because he's innocent. It may take time to prove, but he's innocent.
He's being held for murder, miss. And he did it.
That's not true.
I happen to know my business.
I'm sorry, Mr. Harris.
You say Cranston told you to come up here?
That's right.
Why?
Well, it's very simple if you'll just listen. Somebody else got here before Brahm did the night of the murder. After all, a girl with a closet full of nice clothes isn't going to be wearing a cotton kimono to have a romantic dinner. It's ridiculous.
Is it?
After all, she loved him.
I wouldn't be so fast with ridiculous, Miss Lane. Ridiculous to you, maybe, with what little you know. But if she was going to get dressed up pretty, she didn't have much time to do it in.
Why not?
Because she was in that kimono 10 minutes before he got here. People are always so fast and loose with their talk about love.
10 minutes? How do you know?
If you're waiting for him, you'll have a long wait, Mr. Cranston.
I will. He told me he was home by 10 every night.
Why did he say a thing like that? He never comes home before 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I've often wondered where he goes at night this way. I never did ask him but one time, and he answered me so strangely.
What did he say?
He said he'd been with the girl he loved. Don't you think that's strange? The girl he'd loved.
Any idea who that could be?
Not unless it's the young lady in the picture.
What picture?
I really shouldn't know about this, but you won't tell, will you? Her.
I have a feeling you understand how it was. And you wouldn't want to cause me any more trouble after all I've had. But you'd have to, Miss Lane, wouldn't you? You gotta realize I can't take any chances on... I'm not a... What's happening to me?
The shadow.
Who's that? What was that laugh? This is a trick.
No, Mr. Harris. You are the trickster. You've murdered a girl because she didn't love you and put the man she loved behind bars. That's quite a trick, Mr. Harris.
Who are you?
You killed Grimbar to keep him from talking, and you killed Mendes.
Why did I kill Mendes?
You didn't want the pawnbroker to save Brahm from the chair by telling the police he wasn't the man who robbed his shop on the night of the 3rd. Did I say trickster? You're a magician, Mr. Harris.
Who are you?
I am the shadow, the fear of retribution in men's minds. I am justice. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.